Mark Vivian Foe. On June 26, 2003, during the FIFA Confederations Cup semi-final between Cameroon and Colombia, Mark Vivian Foe, the Cameroonian midfielder, was at the center of attention for all the wrong reasons. In the 72nd minute of the match, Foe suddenly stopped chasing the ball. He clutched his chest, staggered, and then collapsed onto the field. Medical staff rushed to his side immediately. Players and fans alike were in shock as they tried to revive him on the pitch. Paramedics administered CPR, and Foe was carried off to the hospital. Despite every effort, the doctors confirmed what no one wanted to hear: Mark Vivian Foe had passed away. An autopsy later revealed the cause: hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, a heart condition that thickens the heart muscle and can trigger sudden cardiac arrest, especially under extreme physical stress. Foe's death sent shockwaves through the football world. Teammates, opponents, and fans mourned deeply, highlighting the hidden dangers athletes face even at the top of their game. The tragedy also sparked conversations about player health monitoring. After Foe's death, FIFA and football clubs worldwide began implementing stricter cardiac screenings for players, aiming to prevent similar incidents in the future. Hiroshi Hakatsu, a veteran equestrian and Japan's oldest Olympic competitor, was renowned for his dedication and discipline in the sport. At the age of 71, he was preparing for an international show jumping event when the unthinkable happened. During a routine training session, Hiroshi was guiding his horse through a series of jumps. Witnesses report that while attempting a particularly challenging obstacle, the horse stumbled mid-air. Hiroshi, despite his vast experience, was thrown violently to the ground. Emergency responders arrived immediately, performing life-saving measures on site before rushing him to the hospital. At the hospital, doctors discovered he had suffered severe internal injuries, including a ruptured spleen and multiple fractures. Despite intensive surgery and medical care, his injuries proved too severe, and he tragically passed away shortly after. The incident sparked a wider conversation in the equestrian world about the risks faced by athletes even at advanced ages, emphasizing the need for safety protocols during training sessions. Helmets, protective vests, and controlled practice environments became a renewed focus after this tragedy. Fran Crippen, a rising American open water swimmer, was known for his relentless training and competitive spirit. In October 2010, during the FINA Open Water Swimming Championships in the United Arab Emirates, Fran faced a challenge unlike any pool race. The event was held in open water under extreme temperatures and high humidity, conditions that can push even elite swimmers to their limits. Eyewitnesses reported that Fran was leading the pack when he began to show signs of distress. He appeared to struggle with breathing and coordination, slipping behind the other swimmers. Despite safety boats patrolling the course, he was not immediately noticed due to the crowded race conditions and rough waters. Fellow competitors attempted to alert officials, but the response came too late. When Crippen was finally pulled from the water, emergency medical personnel attempted resuscitation, but he had already suffered cardiac arrest caused by severe overheating and exhaustion. Investigators later concluded that the combination of high water temperature, extreme exertion, and delayed safety measures contributed to his death. Fran Crippen's passing led to a major overhaul in open water swimming safety regulations, mandatory temperature limits for competitions, increased lifeguard presence, and more stringent monitoring of athletes' conditions were implemented globally. Pat Tillman. In April 2004, Pat Tillman, former NFL star turned Army Ranger, was patrolling the rugged mountains of Paksha province in Afghanistan. His unit was moving through narrow passes when suddenly they came under heavy fire. In the heat of the moment, bullets flew from all directions, chaos erupted, and visibility was low. Amid this confusion, Tillman was struck multiple times. Initially, the military reported that he had been killed by enemy combatants, portraying his death as a heroic sacrifice. But months later, the shocking truth emerged: Tillman had actually been killed by friendly fire. His own fellow soldiers, disoriented during the firefight, accidentally shot him. The tragedy was compounded by the fact that the soldiers didn't realize what had happened until much later, making it a heartbreaking accident. The situation sparked outrage when it was revealed that the military had misled the public about the circumstances, keeping the true story from Tillman's family and the world. What was supposed to be a symbol of courage and heroism instead became a stark reminder of how miscommunication, panic, and split-second decisions in combat can turn deadly. Andrés Escobar. In the 1994 FIFA World Cup, Colombian defender Andrés Escobar was known as the gentleman of football for his calm demeanor and sportsmanship on the field. But everything changed during a group stage match against the United States. In a crucial moment, Escobar accidentally scored an own goal, giving the U.S. a lead. Colombia eventually lost the match, and the elimination from the tournament shocked the nation. However, the tragedy didn't end on the field. Back home, Escobar returned to Medellin, unaware of the storm brewing around him. On July 2, 1994, just days after the World Cup, Escobar was shot multiple times outside a nightclub. The murder was widely believed to be linked to gambling losses and criminal elements upset over the own goal. This shocking incident exposed the dark side of football in Colombia at the time, where money, crime, and national pride intertwined in deadly ways. Thomas Harrion, an offensive lineman for the San Francisco 49ers, was known for his strength and dedication on the field. On August 7, 2005, during a preseason game against the Denver Broncos, Harrion played aggressively but appeared healthy afterward. He even smiled and waved to fans as he left the field, giving no hint of the tragedy that would follow. Later that night, Harrion collapsed in his hotel room. Paramedics rushed him to the hospital, but he was pronounced dead from heart failure caused by hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, a condition where the heart muscle thickens and struggles to pump blood effectively. Doctors later suggested that the intense physical strain during the game, combined with pre-existing heart issues, contributed to his sudden death. Arians' passing shocked the NFL and fans alike. His teammates described him as a vibrant, hard-working player whose life ended far too soon. Ray Chapman. On August 16, 1920, Ray Chapman, shortstop for the Cleveland Indians, stepped up to bat in a game against the New York Yankees. Pitcher Carl Mays, known for his submarine-style fastball, was on the mound. Chapman took his stance, eyes on the ball. Mays released a pitch because it was scuffed and dirty, was almost invisible in the bright sunlight. Chapman didn't have a helmet, like all players of that era. The ball struck him directly in the head. He immediately collapsed onto the dirt, clutching his skull. Teammates rushed to him and carried him off the field. Chapman was taken to the hospital, but despite the doctor's efforts, the trauma was too severe. He was pronounced dead later that day, marking the only time in MLB history a player died from being hit by a pitch. This incident shocked the baseball world and sparked a conversation about player safety. While helmets weren't immediately adopted, Chapman's death eventually became a driving force behind their implementation, making future generations of players far safer. Kenny, a professional boxer, stepped into the ring for what was supposed to be another routine fight. Early rounds went as expected, punches exchanged, sweat flying, the crowd cheering. But by the fifth round, Kenny began showing unusual signs of fatigue. His movement slowed, his guard dropped, and he took heavier blows than usual. During a combination from his opponent, Kenny stumbled and fell hard to the canvas. The referee immediately started the count, but Kenny struggled to rise. Medical personnel rushed into the ring, performing on-the-spot checks. Despite their quick response, Kenny remained unconscious. He was swiftly transported to a nearby hospital. Doctors later determined that Kenny had suffered a subdural hematoma, a severe brain bleed caused by repeated head trauma during the match. The accumulation of pressure in his brain led to cardiac arrest. He was pronounced dead a few hours later. Medical reports highlighted that prior minor concussions and insufficient recovery time contributed significantly to the fatal outcome. This case became a reference point in boxing for understanding the cumulative dangers of repeated head injuries.
Antonio Puerta. On August 25, 2007, Sevilla was hosting Getafe in a La Liga match, and Antonio Puerta was playing as a defender known for his stamina and defensive precision. Around the 32nd minute, Puerta suddenly collapsed on the pitch without any contact from another player. Teammates rushed to him as panic spread through the stadium. Medical staff immediately attended to him, performing CPR on the field. Despite their rapid response, Puerta was in critical condition and was quickly transported to the hospital. The diagnosis was grim. He had suffered a cardiac arrest triggered by a severe heart arrhythmia. It was later revealed that Puerta had an undiagnosed heart condition, which made him extremely vulnerable to sudden cardiac failure. What made this incident particularly shocking was that Puerta had played several matches in the preceding weeks without showing signs of any problem. His collapse highlighted that even elite athletes could harbor invisible risks that no amount of training could prevent. Tragically, after days of fighting for his life in the hospital, Antonio Puerta passed away at just 22 years old. His death prompted La Liga and clubs across Europe to adopt more comprehensive health screenings, emphasizing the importance of detecting hidden cardiac issues in players before it's too late.